Hi boys and girls. So I just wanted to come on here and say happy Tuesday. So I'm recording our classrooms like discussions and lessons on here from now and trying to just get back to our regular routine. So for example, Mondays or in this case Tuesday, we'll be working on vocabulary, new spelling words, and then reading the story that usually has our vocabulary in it. And then I'll include a Sky's writing activity as well as a link for your spelling homework. Your spelling homework will look exactly like it normally does. You'll have to choose one of the options on your list, and then you can either upload a picture of it, just like they showed you in that dinosaur lesson with the guy from Skies, or you can type directly on a new card in Skies if it's like ABC order or something. Anyways, we'll just get started and talk about our essential question. So our essential question for this week is, in what ways do people show they care about each other? So we're going to explore that throughout the week and just the way that we normally do. And our new spelling words for this week are blanket, blossom, 3 is dipper, 4 is distant, 5 foggy, 6 fossil, 7 member, 8 knotted, 9 planner, 10 plastic, 11 rumbles, 12 slender, 13 summer, 14 swallow, 15 tablet, 16 thriller, 17 traffic, 18 welcome, 19 willow, 20 witness, and 21 talking. So on Skies, you'll see an assignment. It'll say Unit 5, Week 1 assignments. You'll click there, and then under that, a smaller lesson will say spelling homework. So you can click there, and I wrote the directions, and I told you I want you to write your name and your number and the date, so I know that you did Tuesday's homework, Wednesday's homework, Thursday's homework. The goal is to eventually have spelling tests again. I haven't quite figured out how we're going to do that yet, but for now, just doing your homework and practicing the words will be really important, just like we normally do. So now, for new vocabulary. So, word number 1 is bouquet, and this is an example. The sentence is, I assembled the beautiful flowers into a bouquet. And the definition is, a bouquet is a bunch of picked flowers. How does a bouquet look, smell, and feel? Think about where you might see a bouquet. The next word is emotion. Surprise is such a strong emotion that people often gasp out loud. Now, you can pause the video at any time so that you can provide yourself think time, just like we normally do, and you can try to think about what you think the word means, and then push play when I give you the definition. But we have heard this word a lot in second step. So an emotion is a strong feeling such as love, hate, happiness, sorrow, or fear. Number 3 is encircle. So the children held hands to encircle the tree. And the definition is, to encircle means to surround or form a circle around something, right? So what are some things you can encircle? The next word is express. So Tito made a picture to express his love of color. And the definition is, to express means to say or show something. How would you express your love of singing? The next word is fussy. Fussy. Fussy Mr. Green stood in front of the mirror until his bow tie looked perfect. And the definition is fussy means hard to please or picky. So what is a synonym for fussy? Now remember, we've been practicing using the word synonym. What does it mean? It usually means a word that means the same or almost the same, right? And can you think of anyone in your life who might be fussy? We usually use that to describe like little kids who don't like to eat vegetables or who don't want to do anything. They're very hard to make happy. That's what it means by to please. It means to please or someone who is picky, right? The next word is portraits. And the sentence is, this week Anne's art class is drawing portraits of themselves and each other. And the word portraits means portraits are pictures of people usually showing only the face and upper part of the body. So usually from here. And what portraits might you see hanging in the White House? Or sometimes your family might have family portraits in their house. The next word is whirling or whirl. The dancers were able to whirl and twirl without getting dizzy. And the definition is, to whirl means to turn or spin around rapidly. So what is a synonym for whirl? What is another word for the word whirl? Or a word that means the same? Next and that's our last word. So now we're going to go into our story, and I'll read the story, and I'll pause and ask questions as I do. Now, the genre of our story is realistic fiction. We practiced that a lot, and we learned a lot about realistic fiction. Was out, and so think about what realistic fiction is. You can also write that in the comments in Google Classroom, what you remember about realistic fiction. Okay, so, and remember, we're answering the essential question: in what ways do people show they care about each other? So I'm going to try to make this bigger. Go. There we go. Okay, Sadie's game. The referee's whistle went off like a shrieking bird, signaling Sadie's second foul of the game. It was only the first quarter, and Sadie had already collided twice with another player's wheelchair. Her coach waved her off the court for a substitution as the crowd shouted catcalls and jeered behind her. She had never seen a crowd express such disappointment before. Sadie watched her teammates whirl and spin in front of her. Her emotions were all over the place, and it showed in her basketball playing. If only she and her brother had not argued this morning about the game. What's so important, Richie, that you can't be at the game? Don't I matter anymore? Sadie had asked. So how do you think Sadie's emotions are affecting the game? Is it helping her play better? Or is she having a hard time focus? And do you think that's going to change? Richie was Sadie's whole world, and they both loved sports, especially basketball. Sadie loved to play before her accident, and it was Richie who had taught her to play again afterward. There had been some days when she did not want to get out of bed, and he would coax and bully her until she got up. I'm going to stop there. It says the word bully, but I want us to think about what this story means about bullying. It doesn't mean that he was saying really mean things to her, or do you think that it just means that he constantly bothered her to get out of bed? He even borrowed a wheelchair himself to help her learn to play the game all over again. Together they would roll across the outdoor court, zipping, zooming, passing, and dribbling all day long. But lately, Richie preferred to hang out with his new high school friends. Sadie would watch through the window as Richie polished every little nook of his new car. He was as fussy as a mother cat cleaning her kittens. When he drove away, Sadie would keep staring out of the window, tears clouding her eyes. Mama was her sun. Her arms would reach out and encircle her in long, warm embrace. Sadie, she would say, your brother loves you, even though he's got new priorities now. That doesn't mean he doesn't care. But Sadie felt hurt. Sadie looked up and saw her coach frowning. She searched sadly for her mother, expecting disappointment in her eyes, but instead she saw a wide smile. It was the same happy face she saw in portraits of her mother at home. Sadie followed her mother's gaze to find Richie jogging toward her across the gym, holding a purple and white bouquet of flowers, wrapped tightly with a ribbon. Richie's eyes sparkled, and his smile gleamed. He bowed to his sister and handed her the flowers as though she were a queen. But we're losing. How do you know we're going to win? She asked. I don't, Richie said. It's not important. What I know is you're like a whirlwind in the court, and there's no way I'm going to miss my little sister's big game. He put his hand on her shoulder and he said, it's great to have a lot of new friends, but I realized that you're my best friend. Sadie smiled. Those words meant more to her than I'm sorry ever could. She rested the flowers on her lap and went back out onto the court. Right then Sadie decided to play the rest of the game with the bouquet in her lap. With her brother watching from the sidelines, Sadie stole the ball from an opponent and dribbled her way to the net, making the first of what would be many amazing shots for the team. So, questions, make connections. Talk about how Richie shows he cares about his little sister Sadie. So that's our essential question, right? And this is a question that you're going to write about in skies. It says, who do you care about in the same way that Richie cares about Sadie? It can be a little brother, a little sister, but it can also be an older brother or sister, or your mom, your dad, your grandma. It doesn't have to be a brother-sister relationship or a sister-sister. It can be anyone. And explain how you show you care. So in the story, what does Richie do to show that he cares? And then do you do the same thing or do you do something different? So basically, you guys have the chance to come back and rewatch this video if you need to review the vocabulary, the spelling words, and everything will be posted on Google Classroom, and you can do your homework using that. Everything will be linked on Google Classroom, so make sure you're checking that frequently. And I want to make this as much as what we're used to. So today, which is Tuesday, we're going to do this lesson, and then tomorrow on Wednesday I will do the grammar lesson, and then Thursday and Friday I'll have your center activities on the skies like we normally do. It'll be a vocabulary game, writing and reading activity, and then I'll post a grammar lesson or a worksheet or activity on there, and also some kind of story that goes along with our essential questions, just so that you have enough time to practice. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me on Google Classroom. Your parents have my dojo information. They can message me there. Or if your parents want to call me on my cell phone, they can. If they want my cell phone number, they can always message me. You can message me here on Google Classroom, or they can message me in dojo so that I can talk with you if you have any questions or if you need me to clarify.